breakdown of Fight Night Song Yadong versus Davison Figueredo. I've done the research, and we're going to be going through the first fight of the night all the way to the last fight of the night, starting with Luma Luckbloom versus Jacqueline Armorim. I think this fight is going to be pretty simple. I think Luma Luckbloom is going to defend Jacqueline Armorim's takedowns, and she's a Muay Thai striker, and I think it's just going to be a mediocre decision with a lot of takedown defenses and not overwhelming striking, but I could see a finish within the third round by Luma Luckbloom, and I think this fight's going to be pretty simple, pretty average. Moving on to the next fight of the night, Zhu Kenji versus Rodrigo Vera. This one also changed. There's multiple fights that changed on this card tonight, and this is one of them. I think Zhu Kenji is going to win pretty decisively. He has 12 first-round KOs, and Rodrigo Vera seems to be taking this fight on short notice. And so I think the preparation that Zhu Kenji has is going to overwhelm Rodrigo Vera. He looks really good, 21-1, but the short notice will be a factor that I have to take into it. And I think that Zhu Kenji, hometown, China, 12 first-round KOs, he's going to come out explosive, but I really could see this fight going either way. Moving on to the next fight, Angela Hill versus Zhang Zhangjin. I think Zhang Zhangjin is going to come into this fight and beat up Angela Hill. Angela Hill's had a very long career, and she's made a name for herself, but she's very win-loss. You know, she's never going to be anything now. And you have this newcomer, Yao Zhangjin, coming in, and she has this Muay Thai background where she's a great Muay Thai striker. She's a lot of wins, not a lot of losses. And I really think that she's going to come in and show that she belongs in the UFC. It's her debut. She's debuting in China. I know some of the China fights are more risky to pick, but I do think that she's going to come in and show Angela Hill levels outside the UFC. And I'm going to see maybe a third-round finish as well. I think third-round TKO is very likely with this fight. Next fight, we have Ray Saruya versus Louis Groulet. I just watched Louis Groulet put on an amazing performance where he had unrelenting pressure, and he looked amazing in his last fight. He's taking this one on short notice again. Ray Saruya was supposed to fight Jesus Aguilar, which I feel like was a very good layup win after his loss to Joshua Van. Louis Groulet also is a pressure fighter just like Van, but Van's obviously way better. But I think Ray Saruya is going to make those improvements, and he's going to out-wrestle Groulet to a decision. Ray Saruya is very impressive, but he's not championship level. But I think he will out-wrestle Groulet to a very boring decision, because in our last fight with Ray Saruya, all we saw him was shoot takedown, 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 and do nothing with him. Next fight of the night, you have, I don't know how to, Oral Kenji versus Cody Haddon. Oral Kenji lost to Cody Durden, and I can't value that at all, ever. So, I know he has a lot more fights than Cody Haddon. Cody Haddon's a lot younger, hungrier, and he doesn't lose to Cody Durden. So I think Cody Haddon's just going to knock this guy out. I don't know when, but I should see. This is going to be a nice prospect fight. You know, Cody Haddon's looking to build himself up. Oral Kenji's just looking for a paycheck. He's an old guy, and he's just not ready to be champion. But Cody Haddon has that dog in him right now, and he's hungry, and he wants to win. So I think Cody Haddon's going to win pretty decisively. Now you have two, I think these are Road to UFC, Danny White Contender Series, one or the other, two of those fights. So the first one is D Ming versus Jose Sousa, and Yisak Lee versus Luis Felipe Diaz. I think these both are going to go a very similar way. So I'm just going to say them at the same time. They're fighting two big Brazilians, each of them. And I think the Brazilians are just going to destroy them. I think these Road to UFC guys are not as high level as the other guys outside the UFC or anything like that. So I think these big Brazilians are just going to come in and put them in their place. I don't really see much with these fights. I don't see any of these guys being great. This guy, D Ming's about 8-1, and Yisak Lee is like 21 and something. But I really do think these big Brazilians are going to come and knock them out. I think we're going to see a lot of finishes on this card tonight. And those are all the prelims. So we're going to move on to the main card, the more important breakdowns and stuff like that. You have Alex Perez versus Sumadarji. Alex Perez just had a generational performance against Charles Johnson, and I really think his hype continues. I think he's a low-ranked guy, 11, and I really think that he could fight for a championship and make it competitive. But unfortunately, I don't think Sumadarji can. He fought Mitch Raposo and couldn't finish him, and that to me is a little sad. But I think Alex Perez is going to show him who's boss. He just took out a long, lanky striker, as in Charles Johnson, knocked him out, and I think he's going to do the same to Sumadarji. He's a powerful, shorter, stockier guy for flyweight, and Sumadarji, he's good, but he's not amazing. He doesn't have what it takes to be ranked. I mean, he'll beat the guys on the border, but he doesn't beat anybody else. But Alex Perez is ready for that. He's dangerous. He's ready to knock people out, and I think Alex Perez is going to go in there, knock out Sumadarji, and it's going to be over with. I really think it's cut and dry. So I would definitely pick that one. The next fight is going to be Jake Matthews versus Carlson Harris. I think Jake Matthews is going to get a sub on this one. I don't know much about this Carlson Harris, but I do know Jake Matthews is good. He's not the best fighter in the world, but he has that good fight with Neil Magny, but it wasn't good. He lost by the sub, but he didn't look terrible, honestly, and Neil Magny isn't the worst. He is that top 15 gatekeeper, and if you can get near or close to him like that, you know, I rate you all right, because welterweight, at the end of the day, is the most difficult division in the UFC, in my opinion. And so I think even getting near top 15 in that welterweight does put you above a lot of people. And I don't even know where this guy's from. I don't think Carlson Harris will get any grappling advantage at all, and I do think he will be ending up getting subbed in the third round. On to the next fight. Kai Sakura versus Cameron Smotherman. This is another fight where I think Cameron Smotherman is ass. And I hate to say it, he's terrible, and his claim to fame is passing out during a weigh-in. That's all he's known for. So I really think that's unfortunate for him. He has 2 losses in the UFC. He has 1 win. Kai Sakura has 2 losses. But I think Kai Sakura is hungry right now. He's angry. He's lost. He's lost some pretty bad fights, and I think he's ready to come in and beat Cameron Smotherman. And Cameron Smotherman has done nothing. He's not very good. And so I think Kai Sakura is going to lock in a sub, and it's going to be over. And I don't think there's anything else about it. Or maybe even a KO. There's going to be a finish. I think a lot of grapplers on this card. But I think Kai Sakura is going to finish him within the third round. I mean, you have to rate that knee he landed on Pantoja. That's good. Cameron Smotherman is not taking that knee the same way Pantoja would. And Kai Sakura is moving up to bantamweight. He's going to be bigger. He's going to be filling out. He's ready. On to the next fight. Sergey Pavlovich versus Taliesin Teixeira. I don't know how this fat fuck ever is getting a ranked 3 fight. Let's be honest. He knocked out Junior Taffa, and he beat Tai Tuivasa by decision. Taliesin Teixeira will be slimed out by the ghost of Pavlovich. It's just the truth. He's going to get KO'd within a round. I don't think Taliesin Teixeira has anything. He's tall up there. His chin's in the air. He's going to get knocked out. And he got knocked out by a Derek Lewis that pretended to be hurt. And that same Derek Lewis went on to quit against Waldo. I don't think Taliesin Teixeira has anything for Pavlovich. And his cardio is honestly so horrible that he couldn't finish Tai Tuivasa. So I really think this is going to go one way. And it's going to go Pavlovich sleeping Teixeira on the canvas. I just think that's what's going to happen. And I don't think there's any other way it's going to go. Because Taliesin Teixeira is absolute garbage. And he is. On to the next fight. Zhang Ming Yang versus Alonzo Minifield. This one's hard. Because Alonzo Minifield, he's good. He's not the best. You know, he's that top 15 guy at light heavyweight. But we're learning light heavyweight is not great. And so he's going to go in and do what he does. He's going to clinch against the cage and do not much else. But he loves to get knocked out in the first round. But he's crafty. But he really loves to get knocked out in the first round. But I saw Zhang Ming Yang break against Johnny Walker immediately. In his hometown, in China, Zhang Ming Yang broke. Can I even trust him to win anything? I don't know. It's like stoppable force versus movable object. One guy loves to get knocked out, and this guy just broke so easy. And I really think if you can break like that, you're going to break again. I know he's the favorite to win this fight, but I think Alonzo Minifield is going to crafty him into the second round. And he's going to beat Zhang Mingyang, and by a TKO in the second round. And I know Alonzo Minifield also kind of sucks. But I just can't. After I see you break like that, I can't pick you to win a fight ever again. So I'm going to go with Alonzo Minifield by either a second round TKO or a decision win. Now on to the main event. Song Yadong versus Davison Figueredo. I think Song Yadong is a fast, explosive striker. And I think Davison Figueredo is only getting slower. I think Davison Figueredo has shown in his past few fights that he's just not doing great, and that he had a very competitive fight with Montel Jackson, who also just lost to Raoni Barcelos, another guy that's aging pretty heavily. So Davison Figueredo is aging pretty hard, and now he's just letting himself lose, it feels like, when I watch his fights. Like, he's just not trying to take the wins. Like, he doesn't want them as bad as other people do. Song Yadong just had a fight that he thought he won, and that he's probably pretty upset about. And he's very, very explosive. And he's fighting in his hometown. Davison Figueredo has the grappling that I feel like Song Yadong might have issues with. But again, Song Yadong shucked off Henry Cejudo pretty well. And so I'm really thinking that 5 rounds is not favored for Davison Figueredo. He's an old man, and he's getting old, as I said. But I just think he's not quick enough, and he lets himself lose. And Song Yadong is quick. He has these power punches that he blitzes in with, blitzes out, blitzes in with. His kicks are also really good. I think Davison Figueredo is going to get battered on every single part of the fight. And I don't know if he's going to be able to get off that grappling. And so I think Song Yadong is going to finish him like with something stupid. And then Davison Figueredo is just going to give up. So those are I just think that's what's going to happen. And those are my full card prediction for the UFC Fight Night. Let me know what you thought. Please like, subscribe. See you later.